So tell me what we're doing here.
Oh dear. This is why I don't have a YouTube channel. I am essentially trying to figure out how I can angle your outtake so that it comes up this way. That way both of them can be strapped onto your water tank without any issues.
Okay.
But we're doing the heated floor layout for his van. So it's figuring out those squiggles I mentioned earlier of where it comes in and then it rotates all the way around the van.
Yep.
And all these yellow little plates you see
are heat distribution, like, reflectors.
Exactly. Yep. And they're all designed so that the only cuts you got to make are cut them in half. So you got 24-inch ones, you got 48-inch ones. Cool. Everything else is good. And then once we get this figured out, then we do a few offsets for what to actually machine it at, and then we
send it to the machine.
Start machining it.
Warm floors await.
Yes. Counters, straight edge. Like those. So set that on. Bloop. Alright, points. I can't hold this in my head, but it's just easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I measured to the top surface of it, so I have to subtract this out of it. Oh, that actually makes it almost 3/8. Well, on the ones that I mic'd on the last one, were 0.4.
Oh, okay.
Which is, you know, if we're talking, like I said, sheets of paper of TARS, sheet of paper is 4,000s. It was like 5 sheets of paper thicker than 3/8.
Okay.
I'm a nerd, so I try to.
Nerds are cool. Nerds are cool. I'm a nerd. We have all these ribs that are built into the existing floor of the van. And so they're going to create a bunch of shims so that even in those troughs, you'll have some sort of a support underneath that floor. One of the cool things about this floor is that I think it's going to be thinner than most people would build an in-floor heating system, right?
I mean, by the time you got the foam, the Russian birch, and then whatever Marmoleum 4-bow or anything you put on top of it, you're looking at barely 1 inch and 3/8.
Yeah, not much at all.
Less than 1.5 inches. So
yeah, that's super cool. Okay, so we have made the templates, laid them in the van. Rounded corners, cut off edges, made it work. Then we've taken all of that data and put it into the laptop. And then Teddy over there has turned that data into a proper cutout for the in-floor heating system that will go in there. Now, one of the things that you need to watch out for is first where your furnace is going to be. That's what's going to heat up the liquid that you're going to end up pushing through, and your overflow tank, where the liquid is going to collect that will allow you to charge and absorb any bubbles or whatnot that might be in your in-floor heating system. You also got to find the location where that's going to be. For me, I'm going to do it in front of the passenger side wheel well underneath the sink. It's going to be a bit of a tight fit. There's a lot of components that need to go there, and I'm going to end up using a lot of that space underneath the sink area. Also, you need to know where the piping is flowing through so that if you do want to mount stuff to the top, that you don't drill through it. And Teddy's gonna put in some unique lines so that we can kind of tell what's going on through the floor and where those things are running.
We'll engrave where all the heat transfer plates are and all the PEX lines go through, and even if we want, we can even engrave where all the screws and stuff go if we really wanted to.
Yeah. Don't drill there. Yeah, that's a big deal. If you were to drill into your PEX, you'd have to remove the entire floor and everything above it to do that. You would not want to do that. Not an option. So yeah. So we're gonna do that, and we'll be cutting the plates, the final, pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
One more test, and then we got to start chopping foam.
Awesome. So this is the material that we're using for the floor. It's pretty cool. It's fiberglass on the top and the bottom edge, and then there's like a dense foam in the middle. It's lighter than Baltic birch. It's durable. It doesn't mold, so it's resistant to moisture and all of that. It's almost the perfect material for making some sort of a robust flooring system that is probably going to get wet from time to time. It's going to be jostled around a lot, and you're going to want it to perform. This cutter is pretty wild, actually. The base particle board that sits on the bottom of the table is, you wouldn't think of it as porous, but it actually sucks the material, whatever you have on top of it, down solid so it can cut around and the material won't move around on it. But there's no holes in the particle board. It literally sucks the particle board so hard that the suction goes through the particle board into the surface of whatever is sitting above it. So it sucks it all down. I used to think it was like an air hockey table where, you know, they had all those holes that were sticking up that were pushing the puck up, but instead pulling it down. But there's no holes. It just sucks right through the wood. Number one of 4. Man, I love these machines, man. We live in a good time. Hopefully we won't continue to mess it up because we got all sorts of cool machines and toys and things that make some of this stuff so much fun.
First one.
Cool.
Slide it up.
Okay, so the CNC cut the first piece of floor. This one is going to go all the way to the front. But a few things here. So we've got the curvature for the pecs that's going to lay in here, but we also have an opportunity for the reflector panels. And so you can see why these channels have opened up a little bit to accept those pieces of sheet metal. This is the area where my shower pan will be. And so we didn't put the pecs there. Alright guys, so that's the second panel. This one's kind of busy. We got the wheel wells here, and then it's basically connecting from front to back all of the PEX channels. Finish the third piece. It's all good.
Those guys.
Those crazy cooks. Some people, they just pay for it. They don't want to know how it gets put together. They just want to see the end result. But I really get a kick out of this, actually.
No.
Okay guys, so we have one more piece to go, and this one's going to take a little longer. You've got to cut the support, I call them pucks. So you have to basically take all of the meat off and take that material down from 1 inch all the way down to, well, whatever you need in order to support the floor and give you some structure underneath those points. How thick are those pucks? Like a 0.4?
They're just over 3/8, which means we got to take out 5/8 in order to get them to thickness.
These are little support pucks, and then this is my storage unit, shoe rack, maybe slipper holder.
Something.
Very small slipper holder.
Tie downs.
VSSH, very small slipper holder, and then the final piece that will be at the end. All right, let her rip. So you see the machine right now is just taking as much meat off as possible before it cuts the shims out that's going to support the floor. So it's just passing over and over and over until it digs it down deep enough. Mike is testing some LED lighting on a cabinet he's working on. Let there be... There we go. It's warm. Yeah. Nice. Actually, lighting is really important for the studio area where I'll interview people and stuff. Having the backs of the cabinets kind of light up and stuff.
I love lighting, man. If that's all I ever did, I'd be happy. One small item on the checklist done.
All right, this is the floor. 4 separate components, all cut out by the CNC machine, and now it's ready to go in. So we're gonna lay these down, then a piece of Baltic birch over it that's gonna be etched with the PEX path so that you never drill into your existing PEX piping, and then I'll throw these back on at the end. Look at how clean these go together. They're a little bit off right now because the support shims will be underneath and lifting the low points. But yeah, this is my floor. Pretty cool. So this will be like a little box area here. And then the heated floor will go up here, and all of the components for the Comfort Hot are going to be there. And in this area, I will end up cutting out to be my shower area. But yeah, pretty neat. Okay, so what they're going to do now is they're going to take this little itsy bitsy bit and they're going to etch everywhere there's piping underneath. So this is going to sit on the top of the floor, and it's going to indicate where the PEX piping is, where the heating is going through, so you don't accidentally drill into it. It'll be basically a guide. This piece of birch will sit above the floor. This will be the next layer in the layer cake that makes up the floor of the van. So we are just going to lay these out in the back of the van. We're not going to lay them and link them together because tomorrow, or maybe the next day or so, I'm not sure, we're going to actually glue the floor down. And we'll do that at Sam's shop. We're at his like secondary shop where he does his CNC cutting. So in the next episode, we'll be doing the actual piping in the floor. We'll be able to see how they are laid out inside. We'll also see the reflector strips that are going to keep the heat up into the van and not out through the bottom of the van. And I already have the interior of the van coated with lizard skin, so that's even better. Very, very cool. Welcome back to Just Roaming Design. First things first, take everything out. Waiting for the adhesive to cure. It's going to be a long time. I figured I'd tackle a problem that I had. So like these are panels that are preset by Adventure Wagon. This is a panel that was preset by Adventure Wagon. You can see everything sort of cinches together. They build on this this locking track.